Everybody listen to We're Not Wizards, because we are the best, and we're not wizards, no matter what anybody says. Goodbye.
Nowadays our life has become so strange. Isolated in our homes we remain, but we talk to friends and our family over internet, and hopefully we will remain sane. We're not wizards, we already know that. More importantly, do you like puns and cats? Because if you do, then I have a brand new offer to you. You can get one of my sticker packs.
No way, that is actually just a disgrace. Because usually, we've been talking about this. I've bore my soul to you for like the last kind of like 10 minutes, you know. And then the first thing you do is you come on with your song and you're automatically just promoting something without even getting any chat. Ladies and gentlemen,
it is appalling.
It is appalling as usual. It's a catastrophe. It's cataclysmic. It's enough to raise the heckles and have your tail sticking up in the air. I have got the force.
But I hope we are still friends.
Maybe just meow we are, but I can't guarantee about the future.
About the first
joining me, as always. It's not like the regular host.
Well, it's not like I was here for the last one, because, you know, I've listened
You're
to
busy.
Definitely you do We Are Not Wizards without me sometimes.
I do, on occasion, but it's never the same when you're not here. It's never the same when you're not. I'm joined by Bez. Bez is here. Bez is here because we've been sitting having a couple of bottles of wine and just getting into a bit of chat. It's last time. Do you know what the interesting thing was? I remember the last time we had a chat, because it was really earlier on in the year. And
it was with Tom.
It was with Tom, yeah. But the strange thing was, none of this had really all kicked off.
I mean, I feel like it was just starting, but none of us really appreciated it for what it was. None of us believed that was happening.
I know.
You're talking about the times of isolation, right?
before the dark times, before the Empire. Yeah, it's kind of been...
I mean, how dark are we getting? Because there's times when I wonder, firstly, right. Are we ever going to return to normal? I don't mean for COVID-19. I mean because A, the number of people who are near each other, the density of the population, and B, the amount of travel that's going on, unless those things are reduced, the probability of a pandemic is going to increase and increase, and it's going to become more and more regular as time goes on. So if we are, over the next 50 years, for example, it might be that it becomes a semi-regular thing, that we do get into situations where we're like, yeah, we do actually have to make major ongoing changes to our lives, to the world, if we don't want to have this happen, you know, to whatever the next mutation of some other disease is. Do you know what I mean?
And what was interesting is what you were saying to me before we started was that one of the ways that we can come together and kind of, you know, almost... not, you know, stabilize our thoughts and feelings and, you know, kind of get ourselves in the right mindset is to consider buying cat stickers. Is that is that you said it was the perfect way to
the perfect way to guarantee
some kind of happiness kind of going forward in isolation, is that you were thinking, and this is what you said as well, is that you're saying that people, if they back these stickers, that when they get them through the post, that they will be able to actually stick them in various places and pretend that these are their friends and family, just to remind them that there is hope out there. So you're not just giving them various kind of funny, pun-tastic stickers, you're also giving them hope. That's what you said, isn't it, Bez?
I'm not going... Possibly not. I'm going to
really
say
are
that.
Going for all the you are going for the puns tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm
my
feeling
whiskers. My word. Okay.
So, truth is,
right.
I have changed the business model a little bit based on what's going on. Because partially, it's what's even relevant, do you know what I mean? I came back from Aircon and I was thinking, what am I meant to do, meow? What, in today's world, when we don't know what's going to happen in the future, what's possibly going to happen? And it's like, I made up a new game that I was playing with Sally Jones, and I've been doing a lot of streaming every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, except for last Sunday when I skipped that one. But 3 times a week I've been streaming board games and playing them, and people have been starting to join in, and I've got my friend Jess from Thailand who said that they might join in one in the not too distant future, which is really nice, because it's a way to get people together, and it's honestly 25% promotional, but 75% of it is just to give me some sanity. And when I was making that categorical thing, it was like, you know what? People actually need a print and play right now. People aren't going to get this game for a while. They aren't going to be able to buy my games and play them with other people necessarily. I want to make games that people can play over the internet, and that's why there was a £1 pledge level where you could pledge £1 to get a Comic Sans version of the LDEC, because obviously it's lower quality, it's Comic Sans.
Wow.
And Richard's shaking
I am
head,
definitely
thinking,
shaking my head when you've brought out the Comic Sans card as well. This is just an episode of shocking. I'm going to interject for 1 second, and you mentioned Sally Jones, and I did want to say that they have an amazing business called the Crafting Jones, which provide, and they've been on the show, but they are an online retailer, offline retailer, and I just wanted to say, if you're looking for any merch, they've not sponsored us or anything, but they're a fantastic person. If you're listening, Sally, I hope you're doing well. But they provide a range of merchandise. Sally. Hi, Sally. Provide a range of fantastic kind of merchandise in relation to the hobby.
They make bow ties and little flowers.
Stained glass windows.
And they've made me a... Not actually stained glass windows, but they have made me a hat.
That was a stretch.
Out of the LDEC cards, which is really awesome. And if you want to say to them, hey, I love this game, can you take a copy of this game? Maybe you've got a collectible card game, which Sally Jones might not be able to advertise for legal reasons. Yeah. We could say, hey, I want to give you some of these cheap cards, and could you turn them into a work of art? Sally would do that for you.
Yes. So enough of shameless plugging of people that we admire and respect and do a damn fine job. How are you coping with it? I mean, kind of not serious talk. I mean, everybody has kind of wobbles in terms of mental health, you know, confidence, future security and everything like that. How have you been feeling over the last kind of couple of months? Because I know that you are a... how to put it kind of subtly, you're a bird of paradise. You're wandering into the rainforest, and there you are, kind of like, if the rainforest is like a convention, there you are with your plumage and your feathers, and there's displays, and you're using your come and play some games with me kind of call that you do. And I know that the kind of the sudden removal of these conferences has been, you know, a bit of a kick in the teeth for you in terms of something to kind of, because you're a very sociable person, and I know you really, really gain a lot of energy and stuff like that. So how's it been? I mean,
now? I love conventions. I love getting up and then, well, I don't like the getting up and going to the convention that much.
Who does?
It's a bit early in the morning and getting out to bed. But honestly, UK Games Expo 2019 was possibly the highlights of my year. Kind of getting everyone together and saying, go forth and play these games. And saying, hey, if you like this game, buy a copy, put it in your pockets. And all seriously, puns aside, UK Games Expo got cancelled. We're recording this on the Tuesday behind the scenes. It got cancelled yesterday.
It did.
I watched the video. I read the exhibitors thing that they sent out because I'd already paid the money and whatnot. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's just incredibly upsetting. I hope that they're going to be able to continue to survive. I know, like, it was obvious that Tony was coming to tears during that video.
Yeah.
I cried a bit after realizing that, frankly, Essen probably isn't going to happen. Do you know what I mean? 200,000 people is a lot to have. I mean, I don't see how there is going to be any more conventions this year. I don't think that that's a thing we can realistically expect. And at this point, we have to face up to that realistic possibility. I think that, in this world, because I have defined myself as someone who enjoys making games, showing them to people, and going to playtests and being with people, and that's something that I love to do. And when I wasn't doing that, what was I doing? I was starting to develop other hobbies, which were basically swing dancing, which also you can't do, which is perfect. I mean, for goodness sake. But anyway, so it's like, okay, what am I doing? And the reason for the stickers, the reason for the stickers was me saying, okay, I would like to have some stickers because I have had people in the past say, hey, I would like to buy some stickers.
Yeah.
And I've had people show me that they love my stickers a lot, even when it was fully promotional, when it was just the name of the game. I had people put them onto notepads and passports, which I was amazed. Like, Giles actually put one onto passports, which is like, wow, that is crazy. And, but now it's like actual pretty things that you... And maybe they make people smile. I mean, you put them on books or bikes or whatever. People just like personalizing stuff. And it is something where maybe it makes you smile. Maybe you can express yourself. And honestly, I worked out, if I charge people only £2, then after the money of the postage, like within the UK, I'm still getting about 90 pence per sticker pack.
All right.
And so how much can I possibly do as stickers? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's £2 including postage within the UK. How many stickers could I print for 90 pence? Now, if I print 5,000 stickers, I can get them down to 4.5 pence. Now,
Wow.
5,000 stickers is a lot of stickers to print.
Yes, it is.
And if I've only got 151 sticker packs sold, which is what it's currently doing, and there's 2 copies in each thing, then that's only 300. So what am I going to do with the remaining 4,700? Well, I figured, I'll sell them off at conventions for like £2.50 a pop, something like that. And, sometimes whenever someone actually buys a physical copy of the game, like I'll chuck one in there when I do the reprint of Kitty Cataclysm, have it as a bonus option. I can make use of it, and there is promotional value, but it's just see if people enjoy it, and that's the thing. It's like kind of to the case of, well, it's only £2 within the UK, or if you pay £3, because I don't have to pay for postage again, I can afford to send you 2 sticker packs, and if you're outside the UK, well, you have to pay £2 postage on top of it. But if you're paying me £10, where you get 5 sticker packs and a print and play of the thing, and I'm going to do like a quick bit of artwork of a cat on a 1-minute drawing of a cat, then that'll maybe be worth it for you. Like 5 sticker packs for £12 outside the UK. I don't know. But it's up to people, and like, if you want stickers, if you like puns, if you like hats, then they might be perfect. If you don't, then they probably aren't. And it's not saying, please buy this. It's just, if that's something you want, then hopefully it can make people smile, because that's ultimately what I'm trying to do.
How many stickers are in the pack then?
Well, it started off me saying, well, the maximum that it's going to be is 20, because I work out, okay, if I print 5,000, like I said, 20 of them can go in a thing. That's why I'm saying, okay, if we print this many sticker packs, if that many are pledged for, I'll increase it. Currently, it's 14. So there are 7 different images, 2 copies of each.
Mm-hmm.
And if we get to 275 sticker packs pledged for, which will almost certainly happen by the end of the campaign, I reckon, then we'll go up to 8. So it'll be 16. But basically each roll, or if I buy them in blocks of 5,000, each roll is going to cost me about 250 quid. And so it's like, or 200 something. I can't remember numbers off the top of my head. Don't ask me right now. Why am I just telling you this? I
don't know. It's like, I would have thought...
I'm just volunteering information you didn't ask for.
Exactly.
Like,
no, you just would come on and I thought you'd have it all written down.
I'm like subsidising.
In a sheet.
It's like, I'm happy to put some money into it.
Yes.
Knowing that it's a bit more than what I'm actually raising, because... yes, there is promotional value to it, and I'm not blind to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's basically what it is. It's just to say, is the demand there? How much can I afford to put into it? And yes, finances are a bit strange right now, but I am still incredibly blessed. We've already established before the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, Yogi, it has sold, last time it's in 19 languages.
Yeah.
It's... basically a 6-digit number of copies sold, and I got enough at the start of this year to say, okay, I can pay my rent as long as I don't spend too much of that money on business. Like, I'm in a crazy position where I actually have something of a cash reserve. Do you know what I mean? And it's like an amazing luxury that I've never really had before. And so it's like, yeah, I can afford to be a little bit extravagant.
Flamboyant.
Yeah.
Do you know what's strange?
Extravagant.
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 Extravagant. Can't. It's kind of, do you know what is kind of strange? It's amazing the amount of money that I spend to kind of keep the economy going. As in, obviously we're working from home. I'm not commuting.
Yeah.
But because I'm not commuting, I'm not buying petrol. And I now seem to be saving a massive amount of money on petrol. And it also seems that everybody else is kind of saving a massive amount of money not doing petrol. To the point that they're now kind of saying, well, nobody's using petrol anymore, which means we're going to have to stop making petrol because we can't store it anywhere, which is really strange. So I was kind of
yeah, because literally, I used to work in a petrol station, and if it just stays there, it does evaporate even when it's underground.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, eventually, but it's the it's always kind of, it's kind of I've heard a couple of people saying, oh, well, you know how to deal with kind of being by yourself and kind of isolating and being stuck indoors and not being able to go outside. And it's welcome to my kind of mental health kind of day to day. And I was like, okay, well, I can understand that. But it's amazing. It's amazing how kind of, if my boss turned around tomorrow and said, actually, looking at the numbers, it kind of still makes financial sense for us just to have everybody working from home after everything's settled down. I'd kind of
save lots of money.
I'd kind of be up for that. I've not found the working from home experiences as bad as I expected it to be. I think it's been different and it's been an adjustment. And if it was long term, I would probably end up getting, because I'm at the dining table at the moment. Sam's sitting on one side of the table and my wife's on the other side of the table. So there's that thing where we're both having to make phone calls and one of us has to leave the room
and
while you're doing
it's also all these domestic things, like people on video calls being now able to see in your bedroom or your kitchen, which you might not want.
I know, there's all that. And there's also the whole thing about we've got our son, we're kind of homeschooling him at the same time, so we've got to be a bit more flexible at that. And it's kind of as I say, my boss, and hats off to my boss, because my boss was Johnny on the spot when it came to this, because 2 weeks even before they were even talking about lockdown, they were having the conversation with us just to say, look, some of us have got elderly relatives, and this could be a dangerous thing. And they basically had us all working from home before the lockdown was even a thing.
That's impressive.
Yeah, they were just like, well, let's not waste any, let's not be stupid about this. And they've continually been very, very supportive. And I don't usually talk about my work very, very much, but yeah, I reckon that if they turned around and said, well, actually, we're just thinking about everybody working from home from now on, if I was able...
I mean, sometimes it makes sense to do a sort of mixture, because you've got Wizards of the Coast, like making Magic the Gathering. I think they're called just Wizards now. Yeah. And I know that Mark Rosewater's very public, and I know you hate the Magic and the Wizards bit, but yeah. So Mark Rosewater works from home every Friday, just normally. And I think it makes sense for a lot of places to be like, okay, 1 or 2 days a week you work from home, because it's going to be different. There are meetings that you need to go to, especially if you're in a company where it's all about the playtesting. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff that you just do on your own. And in those days, it makes sense to, why not? I mean, if your job is mainly just spent on your own, why not reverse it? Why not say, okay, 1 day a week you have to come to work. Yeah. The other 4 days, you don't have to come to work. I mean, before this all happened, my evenings, I'd be going off playing board games. Some of it was occasionally promotional, like I'd be going to Tabletop Tuesday, like sometimes for fun, don't get me wrong. And sometimes once a month I had a thing with Tim Hibbs, which this had been running for the better part of a year, where the first Tuesday of the month I would go and be part of Tim's thing, and I'd be showing off my games and be running an additional competition, and someone would win a bunch of stuff. And yes, I go out for Friday daytime playtesting, and sometimes I'm like, okay, you know what, I really need to get out of the house. I'm going to go to the pub, and it's kind of a co-working situation until it hits 6 o'clock and the pub's actually open. There's a pub nearby where they say, if you're working on games, just come in here and sit down and chill out and just do your work on your computer or whatever.
Mondays are easier. Do you know, Mondays are easier. Monday mornings are...
I mean, you're assuming that everyone works Monday to Friday, which is just not true.
It's just not true.
I mean,
it's not, but for me,
myself, like normally I would work Monday to Sunday, but then like I'd kind of sometimes like just say, okay, you know what, today I need to take a day off, and if I can, then I'd allow it. And frankly, with this whole situation, I reckon I'm going to have more days off, because I'm like, I will start taking 2 days off a week, like most people do.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. I'm saying I'm very, very lucky, because in the situation where I could work from home, I could work from home. I know there's a lot of people who don't have the choice. I have friends who are, family who are actually furloughed at the moment. They can't, they're not allowed to work because of the industry that they're in. But I have, and I'm just one of the lucky ones where I can do my work from home. But I've actually found even like the whole kind of, I've got to go and work on Monday. Even though the work that you were going to do on Monday wasn't terrible, it was still that, after being at home. And now it's kind of like, there's that kind of not having to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning kind of anymore. There's the kind of, if I wake up at 7 o'clock, that's fine. If I wake up at 7:30, that's kind of fine. And there's that kind of thing as well.
Do you need to still check into some sort of portal?
No, see, this is the other thing as well, is that it's all become, it's not relaxed as stuff like that, but again, my boss was very kind of like just basically saying, look, situations are going to happen, and we know you've all got family, and we know currently with, the supermarket kind of thing and the way that's working out is that if you need to go out and get shopping at 10 o'clock in the morning because it's the only way that you can get certain things, then just go ahead and do it. If you need to go up and drop some food off at my mum's, because my mum she's kind of isolating at the moment anyway. So they're being very, very kind of flexible. I've heard some real horror stories of some other kind of, horrific businesses and companies that are just treating they're trying to get back to the bottom line as quickly as possible.
Like right now in today's climate, if you are being furloughed and then you've got income coming in, and I know that the people in some places like the Tate, I know that they were really lovely and said, hey, you are all going to get your full salaries and we will make sure that you're okay. And for a bit of time, they were like, okay, you're going to be taking your vacation for right now, which was kind of not entirely on, but now everyone's furloughed. And so it means at least you have that financial security. And to an extent, you might think, oh, it means that I can do whatever I want. I can, and maybe one of my housemates has been on Duolingo racking up like 500 experience points on Spanish every day and pretty much becoming... doing that, and maybe sometimes starting to speak to Spanish lovers on like the phone. Literally, that's what they're doing.
It's like your life is a sitcom that hasn't been written yet. Do you know what I mean?
Is there not the truth that when you are working, it's kind of when that's taken away from you? Like, a housemate kind of saying, yeah, I've never had this experience before. That's I'm really desperately wanting
I think there's
to go
a lot of
work.
people. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are now going to be. They're definitely in the situation where obviously they're going to be like, what am I going to do? I've still got to. I was commuting into work and now I'm on kind of 80% of my salary. Or if my boss is being decent, they're kind of just paying me my full salary and they're just making up the kind of the difference. And there's a lot of people that are probably now. They can't do any work for their company because it's against the law. If you're furloughed, you can't work for the business that you're furloughed from. And there's going to be a lot of people that are like all of a sudden going to discover they've got kind of 8 hours and in some cases 10 hours of their life back if they're having to get up at 6 and they don't get back. Because I know I've been there as well, getting up at 6 and not getting home until 6:45 at night.
That can be really overwhelming sometimes. It's like, how do you fill that time? And... genuinely, do you start working out? I mean, do you have something in your house? Because even doing stuff, sometimes it takes real effort.
Yeah.
And I don't think I mentioned it to you, but like Saturday, Sunday, Friday as well, there was a Protospiel online, I think it was called, run by a lovely person I know called Heather. This was sort of the first iteration. It was semi-invite only, really. And bunch of people based in Denver and myself, because I'd met Heather on a bunch of board game broads, kind of hanging out on video chats and playing games together, things to stay sane, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we got to know each other and Heather was like, oh yeah, if you want to come along, that would be totally okay.
Cool.
And so meeting these people in America on Saturday, I playtested a new game that I'm working on for the L deck, which can be played via video chat. We played that a couple of times. It's quite short. Then I had someone else show their game via Tabletop Simulator, and we kind of discussed it and just said it was just a kind of, these are the rules. Does anyone have any first opinions before we even bother playing it? And like, I was like, yeah, that bit sounds a bit rubbish. And someone was like, oh, how about that bit kind of changing? And so making theory crafting, it's not the final stage of the game, but it is a thing. And then we played another game on Tabletop Simulator. And on Sunday, I got up ready to do it. And I was like, you know what, I'm so exhausted and I cannot get myself I cannot summon the strength. I cannot do this. And so I took Sunday off. Basically, I said, you know what, I've just got to spend the entire day doing nothing. And I took Sunday off, took a big chunk of Monday off as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sunday, I just spent watching Community, the TV program, for 8 to 10 hours. And on Monday, I did a bit of work. I got up, I was feeling a bit better, and then I had a cycle around for 5 hours. Like, maybe not 5 hours, but like I was going around just enjoying the solitude around the major landmarks in London. I went to see the Queen. They didn't invite me in, even though I was right in front of Buckingham Palace, ridiculous. Which is a bit impolite. But it's just nice to be able to do that. But how do you fill that time? And we can't just play board games via tabletop simulators or whatever, because it does take additional strain on our minds. And when you've got suddenly, because you're chatting to 4 people in America and then the audio maybe cuts out or something, it's taxing. It's a bit more strenuous, and it doesn't have the immediacy. It doesn't have the fun and joie de vivre of just being in the same room as a bunch of people. And if you want to start doing something like crafting or painting or colouring in or just watching TV is totally okay as well. But I know some people are just like, yeah, how do I fill in this time? And that isn't as... It's a challenge.
It's completely different. I mean, it is completely different. It's totally... I mean, I know my brother's building a shed from scratch. You know, but then there's the other thing is it's like, I can't go out to the shop, or I can't go down to... I know you can go down to B&Q now, I think, and you can pick up stuff, but for a couple of weeks you couldn't go kind of anywhere. It's just kind of interesting. I'm just wondering, is this going to have any change? Because this is potentially going to be a reasonably long thing. I mean, let's face it, UK Games Expo was cancelled.
Yeah,
but does that mean
probably
Essen Spiel's going to be cancelled? Is that not into October? I mean, does that mean...
So they've already cancelled Oktoberfest. So the municipal place that Oktoberfest is normally happening, they say that they can't have any major things until the end of October. I'm fairly sure they did that deliberately just to say, look, everyone, this isn't happening. Kind of stay in your homes. You can get drunk alone if you want, but you can't come out and party with thousands of other people. And I can't imagine the government agree. I know that people say, oh, it's only board games, that's not important. But 200,000 people is enough to... It's a serious thing.
It's a serious amount of money. It's a serious amount of income for a place. But then Germany's been extremely strict with its social distancing.
Yeah, and I think
like
that's correct. Because surely if everyone in the world simultaneously just said, okay, we are going to lock ourselves up for 6 weeks, but then you've still got to have people coming out and still dealing stuff, like sometimes you can get very kind of contaminating something. It is going to slip through the cracks sometimes, and you can't have people literally staying in their house. I mean, how is food going to get to you? You've got to go to it, or someone's got to deliver it to you. Either way, there's going to be a chance of contamination. Even though it might be small, that chance is still there. But if people do... And I've seen people walking around while I was cycling out yesterday. People smoking, having a mask, lowering their mask to smoke. What the...
Yeah, I know.
What the cat is all that about.
What the cat is all that about. Are you having to reconsider Furball. Are you having to reconsider the kind of the design game thing going forward? The design game thing? Are you having to reconsider how Richard has an inability to talk at the best of times? Are you having to reconsider, in all seriousness, how you can play games in a group if potentially this is going to be something that's going to, you know, say it does last until the end of the year? That's a lot of, for a lot of publishers, honestly, designers and stuff.
There's the serious question of whether UK Games Expo 2021 is going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not spoken personally to Richard and Tony since Aircon. I saw them both there. They're both lovely people. I wouldn't say we're like the close friends, but, you know, I would consider Richard a friend for sure. And Tony, like, I like to think that we're friendly. It's not like I'd have either of them over to the house, but if they want to come, if they are in London, I would, to be fair, I'm quite open to whoever wants to come into the house. Not right now, obviously, but just in general, like, if this time next, if in 18 months, someone's listening to this and it's like, you know what, I wonder where Bez is. Like, I'm actually in London. Like, send me a message. As long as you seem like a decent human, do you know what I mean? I'm probably going to be like, yeah, sure, let's hang out. Let's play a game together.
Are you a psychopath and likely to kill me? No. All right, in you come. In you can. I'll put your knife down there. That's fine. You can get it later on the way out.
Seriously, if the vaccine isn't going to be done for 18 months, that's going to be around, September 2021? And so that potentially means that all the conventions are just not going to happen until then, and that is incredibly sad. So yes, I have had to rethink about games. Like I said at the start, that's why I made the game that's now known as Freemail. I've got to write the rules down. That's something that I've got to do, and blind test it and make sure, even though I can't watch someone playing it, I can at least ask people, okay, does this make sense, and do it over Zoom. And it's like, okay, well, I work out what illustrations I need and get a little bit of help from someone to kind of put it all together. Yeah, I'm going to keep making games for the LDEC, and right now I want to almost do a bit of that, but also, and frankly, I've been making games where one person's got the LDEC and everyone else just needs pencil and paper. Now, you know my kind of desire for purity, where I would prefer that all the main games just need a deck and literally nothing else. Not even pencil and paper, not even any tokens or anything that you can rummage around.
Yeah.
But right now, saying, okay, if you have pencil and paper, let's play Muckle and let's try it, but just say, okay, everyone needs pencil and paper. And now, based on that, then I kept iterating on it. I said, okay, you know what? On this format, we want shorter games. We don't want a game that's like 30, 40 minutes. We want a game that's 10 minutes. And that has meant that I've been able to play with family, that I've been able to play on the live stream. I've learnt a lot from playing Say Anything, which works well via the video format, because I don't want to play via Tabletop Simulator. That, to me, feels like a facsimile of something that you really long for. But video chat, you can sort of embrace what it is. And Chris Bockey, who we playtest with quite often nowadays on Friday, which Ellie and I have been keeping that Friday daytime playtest going, although it's kind of just in the afternoon now. It's only, 4 hours long. And Chris has come up with a game for video chats where you're talking to each other, you're negotiating, but you're allowed private conversation, so you're allowed to text each other. But the nice thing there is you send a text saying, hey, will you... someone says, hey, who are you... how much are you voting? And you'll say, well, I'll tell you if you give me 2 energy. And then you just see their face when they read it and they go, oh. And then you kind of make an outlandish deal as an opener. And it's having that human connection, which you never get unless you can at minimum see the face of someone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you less busy now? Or are you just still busy? Because I'm still busy. I mean, I am still, work is still... Because as we've discussed before, is that I work in the online marketplaces. So my work at the moment has gone from people selling on the likes of eBay and Amazon to people realising that the only places they can get stuff is eBay and Amazon, which means that my job, luckily, has been, we were expecting everything to go crashing down, and what's happened is that everything on certain things has gone stratospheric, and it's unusual stuff as well. Really, really unusual stuff that's going really, really well. Wood chips for barbecues are through the roof. Anything related to the garden.
If people have a garden, if people are wanting to enjoy the space, we are fortunate enough. I live in an amazing house with 3 other people. There's 4 bedrooms here. I live in the best one. I like to think because it's where I sleep. But anyway, in all seriousness, we are so fortunate. We have a garden and it's central-ish London. I mean, I am 9 miles away from the river, I would say, which isn't that much. I can get to Victoria in, if I'm cycling, in about 50 minutes. I can get to, basically I can get to the centre of London in about 50 minutes on my bike, which I quite like because it's about 40 minutes is about, okay, I'm actually doing a proper workout now. It's a bit tiring. I might not go if I'm So, anyway, we don't need to get into how much exactly I'm willing to cycle to see a random friend.
I think, we're going to do a cycling special. And when we do the cycling fitness special, then we'll get you back on. But the question was, are you still busy?
I'm busy.
Are you less busy or still busy? Are you finding that?
I would say originally I found myself equally busy. I know that there's been an increase in the amount of puzzles sold, especially jigsaw puzzles, solitaire games.
Yeah.
I have now started... it's made me reevaluate to an extent what do I have to do, and I have found myself just unable quite often to write rules, just because I find it incredibly difficult some days, even though that is the bulk of what I should be doing for game design, just writing the rules and making notes of it, writing the feedback, keeping the logs, playtesting, pondering things, and yeah, of course, all the marketing malarkey and all that. I've been, I guess, to an extent, I think that I'm going to start being less busy. I'm going to continue working. There's always going to be work for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
Working on those games that people can play with the L deck. I know that I've seen photos of people who have printed out the Comic Sans version, because that's the version that they could get right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to make a nicer looking version that has the nice typography that I drew myself. And once that's up, it's going to be like, okay, I'll do that. I might start writing the book. But right now, I'm personally finding it really hard to write stuff. And if I can't do that, what can I do? And maybe the answer is, okay, I just shift focus to survival for now. And I know that sounds like a really bad thing to say, but it's like, okay, I am doing as much as I can. And the rest of the time, it's like, yeah, you know what? It's okay to take a day off. And especially when you're self-employed, like I am.
Yes.
Sometimes there's the temptation, because until now, even when it's like Sunday was the first day off I've had in a long time, and there's always the temptation, oh, I should be doing more, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. But sometimes it's like, you know what? Maybe I will just take a whole bunch of time off and, yeah, just chill. And maybe I spend some time hula hooping, which is something that I've started doing, or going for another bike ride.
Wait. I'm just getting that vision in my head. And continue.
What sort of me hooping? Yeah. I'm actually not bad at it.
I think you probably excel in it, and I think you've probably gone to try for at least 3 or 4 hula hoops so far, all at once. I have
only one hula hoop in my living room.
You just tell me so many lies all the time. I can't even talk. You've got 4. I know you've probably got at least 4.
At least 4.
At least 4, right? How long this?
Yeah.
So in terms of, so the stickers and stuff, are you going to get them printed? You're getting them printed in the UK then? You're not getting them printed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never went with China because there's all the shipping malarkey and it takes ages and
taxes.
Whereas if you print, the L deck, the Wibble Plus Plus Deluxe as it was called last year, I printed that in Poland, and it's like, okay, we can start printing it, and within a month it's all get to me. Whereas if it's in China, it's got to go on a slow boat, and then it takes several months. Whereas the stickers, it's this one place that I found for when I was doing the logo stickers, and if you do only 1,000, they're not as cheap, but when you go between 1,000 and 5,000, the price, basically up to 5,000, the price really plummets. And yeah, they've got something like 4-day delivery generally. Right now, I think it's about 1 or 2 weeks. And so I'm literally thinking, Kickstarter finishes in 1 week and a couple of days. Mm-hmm. And then after that, by that point, I'm going to have all the files basically already ready to go. This is the first thing where I've got, these are the digital files, that's it. And hey everyone, if we get more stickers, we will pick which ones we want. Yeah. But I've done 11 of them. It's only going to go up to an absolute maximum of 10. So no matter what, at least one of them isn't going to be used, but the files are basically there. I'm going to redraw the Stuff by Bez logo because I'm not too happy with that, make it look a bit thinner. Mm-hmm. But it's basically done. And then 2 weeks later, I get the money from everyone. Once all the funds have gone through, then I will put in an order, like within a couple of days of that. Stickers come over, hopefully within a couple of weeks. And I've said that the stickers should be with everyone in June. Hopefully, like, for people within the UK, I believe firmly that should be the case. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you live really far away, I'm not 100% sure how long the post is going to take right now. Yeah. But it is going to be a really quick turnaround because I wanted it to be something that still, when people are in their house and it's not like a thing to do. It's not like a puzzle. But if you've got people in your house, and people were able to back for the game if they've got other people around. And I will be giving people high quality prints and plays if that's what they want. And so if you've got a printer, then you can play the game if you're living with someone else. So if you're living with a family, then great. And I do want to sometimes we kind of look back and say, what is our purpose in society? Do you know what I mean? And it sounds like really grandiose, and it's like, why am I here? Not like, I'm not going all religious and saying, why did God put me here or anything like that? It's just, what's the point of it all? And to an extent, it's just, okay, the point of it is to have a laugh. That's my personal philosophy. It's like to enjoy myself as much as I can. And I enjoy giving enjoyment to other people as well. It's like gratifying to me. And if other people are smiling because of something I made, then so much the better. And that's why I would like to carry on making games and being able to entertain people in some way. And doing like streams and like saying, oh, here's a game that you can play for this, and you can play it either solo or whatever. And I think but right now, maybe it makes people smile, and I guess that's just as much as you can hope for. Just saying, here, you'll get these stickers, and maybe sometimes when you look at these stickers, they might make you smile. Maybe because of the pretty colours, maybe because it says musician, or because, the other stickers that I've got.
Here we go.
It's the cat burglars, the cat ass trophy, the catch, a cat, a log, cat cheer, and the pyramid scheme. And the pyramid scheme, just to give you an idea, is like a whole bunch of cats. On top of each other. And maybe someone will smile. That's all I can hope for.
Exactly. Which is all you want. How long's the campaign got to go?
So, at the time of recording, about a week. So, it finishes at 7 p.m. Sorry, 7th of May. It finishes 7th of May.
Finishes about 7 p.m. When? May. That's fantastic.
7th of May. Mm-hmm. On the Thursday evening, UK time.
What we'll do is I'll make sure I'll put, obviously, the link to the Kickstarter in the show notes. So
you've got notes to show.
So we've got notes to show.
Because you want to show you're working.
We do want to show our working. We just don't want to show people that we've been guessing how things work all along. And the other thing is, if you want to find Bez anywhere, you just search for Stuff by Bez. And you got stuffbybez.com. You got Stuff by Bez on Twitter and just everywhere. I think, but Instagram. It's Facebook. It's Facebook Things by Bez, isn't it?
Yes, because it's facebook.com/thingsbybez, because
you can't
Facebook
have
doesn't let you have the F and the B next to each other. But if you search for Stuff by Bez, you'll still find it, and my email, because I'm happy for people to shoot me an email and say, hey, you sounded like a right cat. Or to say...
I thought you were going to go for it there. But there you go.
Or to say, I totally agreed with what you said, and it sounded really positive. But whatever, in all seriousness, if you want to shoot me an email or whatever, you can.
Do that. Because Bez
stuffbybez@gmail.com.
There you go. Bez is fantastic and wonderful. If you want to keep an eye on what we're doing, go to the internet and search for We're Not Wizards, and you'll find us
everywhere.
Do you know what? If you type we'renotwizards.com, you'll get the podcast. If you type we'renotwizards.co.uk, you'll get the blog.
Ooh.
If you go to Instagram, you'll find us there, and Twitter, you'll find us there, and Facebook, you'll find us there, all by searching We're Not Wizards. If you go on to the podcast
places...
if
you were to search for We Are Not Wizards in Google, would that mean that you're no longer number one? Have you ever tried that?
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
But you are on places that have pod or cast in the name.
We are in places that have got pod or cast on the name, and places that don't have pod or cast on the name, like Player FM.
Or Spotify.
Scumbags.
Do you not like them?
Yeah, we're on Spotify. We're everywhere. We're like do you know what this is like? This is the other thing. It's like, I was going to say, because we're like a rash, because we're spread everywhere, and they realise that's tasteless. So I'm going to say, you know what I mean? Because you'll find us everywhere, because we spread like butter. And that's
a good metaphor.
That's better.
Yeah.
And if you like what you've listened to tonight, then go to...
And you float everywhere like a swarm of balloons.
No. If you like what you've listened to tonight, go to Apple Podcasts and drop us a rating or review. And what we say is, if you are going to be giving us a rating or review, make sure you give us...
Well, not somewhere like 10 stars, because then you'll just be inflating Richard's ego. But
That's
not
right.
0 stars.
No.
Because Richard will cry.
I
But
will.
he wants to give something in the middle, like a 5.
Yes, because it's average. And just a little bit average.
Apparently.
But the person who's not been average tonight. Abhorrently.
That was abhorrent.
Stop it. It's rather wonderful, rather fantastic. The fabulous Bez. Say goodbye, Bez.
Thank you very much, and bye from you.
Bye from you. And it's a goodbye from me. Remember, stay safe, stay home, roll 6s, make something awful. Until the next time.
What if you're rolling a d20?
What?
What if you're rolling a 20-sided die? Then, 6 isn't very good. Sorry, I'm ruining your whole bit.
6s, right, is RS, which is my initials. And roll 6s is just a basic thing. When you were first rolling dice, most people don't start rolling a 20-sided dice. They normally start with a 6-sided dice.
I never realised that that's your initials. Man,
right, okay.
I had to have it spelled out. That's really cool.
That is, yeah, roll 6s. Yeah. Okay. Say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Until the next time, bye-bye. You're a disgrace. What are you?
No, I don't agree.
Okay.
A wizard is never late. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.